I want you to imagine yourself at the bottom of a mountain. Now watch yourself start to climb. This mountain is hundreds of feet tall with blasting winds, rocky terrain, and frost and ice scattered around your feet, but you don't have a choice. You have to climb. You're about halfway there, and you feel something hit your shoulder. And then something hit your head, and another rock hits your shoulder, and you look up, and there are people at the top of this mountain throwing rocks at you, making this already back-breaking task that much harder. This is what having mental illness feels like. It is the feeling of having to climb a mountain every single day while the world around you throws rocks at you, while the people around you throw rocks at you. And to be honest, sometimes that's hard to understand. But in this short clip, I'm going to teach you the steps and the importance of understanding a person with mental disorder. But first, let's understand what a mental disorder is. According to Medline Plus, the definition of a mental disorder are the conditions that affect your feeling, mood, behavior, and they can be occasional and chronic. They can affect the way you relate to people and function every single day. There are many different kinds of mental disorders, such as depression, anxiety, or PTSD, which is a post-traumatic stress disorder. There are eating disorders such as anorexia and bulimia. There are personality disorders such as schizophrenia. These are just to name a few, but unfortunately, people with mental disorders are often misunderstood and stigmatized. They are seen as broken or weak or crazy, when in reality, according to the World Health Organization, 1 in 4 people suffer from mental disorder at some point in their lives. So now that we understand what a mental disorder is, how about we take the next steps to understand a person with a mental disorder? Well, first thing we need to do is educate ourselves. When you educate yourself, you abolish the stigmas and prejudices, whether conscious or subconscious. To learn about mental disorders, I suggest going to websites and researching. Some websites that I like are Medline Plus, the World Health Organization, or the Canadian Mental Health Association. But it isn't just enough to educate ourselves. Step 2 is to talk about it. Though it may be difficult, having an open and judgeless conversation about mental disorders can be a game changer. It can show the people around you that you are a safe ally when it comes to struggles of mental illness. And it shows that you are a welcoming person who will not ridicule anyone for having a mental disorder. Finally, the last step is to see the person and not the illness. You should strive to see past mental disorders and realize that yes, it is a part of who they are, but it is not the entirety of their identity. Try to understand who the person is instead of categorizing them in your mind as just a person with a mental disorder. Understanding these 3 simple tasks of educating yourself, freely and openly talking about mental disorders, and seeing the person and not the illness is so important because mental illness is not something to be ashamed of. It is not a small issue. According to the World Health Organization, currently 450 million people suffer from mental illness, and each year 800,000 commit suicide. A person with a mental disorder is going through a battle each day where getting out of bed can feel like climbing a mountain. They are struggling and they are at risk because mental illness is not an ignorable issue, which is why it is so important to take the time to understand people with mental illness, to take the time to be the shield for any rocks that are being thrown at them, and to maybe just help them up that mountain. Thank you so much.